Here's my center of operations, my desk. Go ahead and poke around. If you want to know the particulars of how I do what I do, that can't be right. That's gotta be it. That looks like the right name. That doesn't make sense. There, I'm no dummy. That looks like the right name. Let's hope Neil is lying down by now. Bingo.
Hello again.
That shovel over there with the interesting handle, do you think I could borrow it?
Dr. Bolay took great interest in that shovel. Don't know why. He never used it. Just like to see it hanging there. Me, I use it to dig up roots.
You mean like tree roots?
No, I mean roots like tannus, black cohosh, valerian. Roots that in the right hands are very special. Very powerful. However, right now I need mushrooms. I was hoping to get 'em picked tonight, but from the looks of all this potting I still have to do...
What do you need mushrooms for?
Dried and crushed, they comprise the main ingredients in one of my tonics. Tell you what, I need 5 painted conchs. They're mushrooms that have got a short, fat stem and a large bell-shaped cap covered with big red dots. You might find 1 or 2 here in the garden, but you'll have better luck in the boggy part of the cemetery. You get me 5, no more, no less, and I'll let you borrow that shovel.
Deal.
You can put 'em in this bag. How else may I be of service to you?
Nice talking to you.
Fare thee well.
Yes?
Do you think I could borrow your keychain? The one that has Bruno's glass eye on it?
You want to borrow it? What for?
Actually, all I really want is the eye. I mean, it's just so cool.
What if you break it?
If it's on a chain, it can't be that fragile.
I don't think I want to take that chance. Sorry.
The box of your great-uncle's things that you sold to Zeke's curio shop, that was a no-no, wasn't it?
What box of things? I don't know what you're talking about.
The guy who owns the shop said you sold him a box of assorted items. I'm assuming they used to be Bruno's.
Well, somebody screwed up somewhere because I haven't sold anything to anybody. Why would I sell one lousy box of stuff when I'm about to inherit a whole house full of stuff? Get real.
You sold it because you needed some quick cash in order to keep Summer happy, didn't you?
How do you know about her?
Playing detective is actually a lot more than a hobby with me. I could make a lot of trouble for you, Henry, but if you come clean, tell me about Summer.
She's this girl I'm in love with. I think she loves me back, but she's so unpredictable it drives me nuts.
How is she unpredictable?
I never know what's gonna make her happy. Like, just before I left, I took practically every bit of cash I had and bought her a bunch of CDs. You know, to keep her occupied while I was gone, right? Well, soon as I get here, she calls and says her sound system just went bluey and I had to buy her a new one because what good were the CDs I bought her if she couldn't play them? So then
you threw a bunch of Bruno's things into a box and sold it to that curio shop.
Yeah. I wired her the money, but then she called and said she also needed new headphones. Next call, it was new speakers. And now she expects me to buy her a flat-screen TV. When I try to talk to her about always wanting more like that, she gets really mad. But I'm afraid if I don't give her what she wants, I'm afraid she'll dump me. And I couldn't take that. I mean, she's the only girlfriend I've ever had. Ever will have, probably. Look, you don't need to go telling Renee or any of those lawyers about selling that stuff, right?
I guess I could just forget all about it. Especially if you were to, say, do something for me.
I know. You still want the glass eye? Take it. Go ahead. It's all yours. You want something, I want something, take it and we're even, okay?
Well, it's not like you sold off half the estate or anything.
$300. That's all I've gotten out of his estate. I swear. Go on, take it. I was naughty, but from now on I'll be nice, I promise.
Do you know anything about the crystal skull that was in that box of junk you sold to Zeke's?
There wasn't any crystal skull in that box.
Are you sure? It would have been inside another box.
Well, I did throw in some smaller boxes. Like I said, I was just grabbing stuff. Was it valuable?
All I really know for sure right now is that it's missing.
Great. Be just my luck to have sold something that wasn't junk to that glorified trash collector.
I'll check back with you later.
Awesome.
Smells right to me. painted conch. Another painted conch. Yes! Hopefully this will givens me a clue.
did you pick me those mushrooms yet?
Sure did.
Well, bless your heart, you did it.
Actually, picking the one growing on the log sticking out of the swamp was a little hairy.
Oh, my. I forgot to warn you about Bernie, didn't I?
If by Bernie you mean the alligator that almost had me for dinner, yeah, you did.
He's another one of Dr. Bolay's pets. He'd kick that log to get Bernie's attention, then feed him marshmallows. Problem is, now that gator leaps up and snaps every time someone so much as touches that log. I should have said something, but I've gotten so used to Bernie I just plain forgot. Anyway, feel free to help yourself to that shovel. You earned it.
Did Dr. Bolay by any chance ever mention the name of his dog to you?
Well, now, seems to me he did say he had a dog once, way back when he was a young'un. But when it comes to its name, I'm afraid I'm no help at all.
I'd better get going.
Fare thee well. Hello again.
Nice talking to you.
Come see me anytime.
That should keep you guys quiet for a while.
Hello?
Hi, Bess. How you doing?
Great. I just took a nice, luxurious bubble bath and I'm ready to boogie. When are you coming back here?
That's still kind of hard to say, but listen. Remember that old photo of a boy and his dog you said you saw in that box of stuff Henry sold to Lamont?
Yeah?
Did it look like it was maybe taken in the 1920s?
That's exactly what it looked like. Why?
Because I need to find out the name of Bruno Bollet's dog, and if that boy was Bruno, then that was probably his dog. Was there any writing on the picture?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think it said Bruno.
That's all it said? Just Bruno?
No, it said Bruno but whatever came after and was hidden by the frame.
I really need to know the name of that dog.
Oh, no. No, you don't. No more snooping.
Bess, just get into that box again and see if the dog's name is on that picture. That's all I want you to do.
How? I can't just go waltzing into Lamont's back room.
And he's for sure as heck not gonna fall for that sneeze contraption again.
There must be some other way you can distract him. Please, Bess, I can't tell you how important this is. You gotta do this for me, please.
Okay. We're not gonna have any fun here until you solve this mystery, and since you can't do that until I do this... Okay, I'll sneak into the back room and take another look at that photo. I mean, I will if I don't screw up.
Think positive, Bess. You're gonna do fine.
You bet I am. In fact, I'm not going to call you again until I have seen that picture. I'm going in.
You go, girl.
Hey!
You know, I still feel guilty about that sneezing thing, so how about I go and get you a nice big bowl of gumbo?
Just so happens I'm starving, so hey, you got a deal.
Great. I'll be right back.
What looks good to you?
Can I get a gumbo to go, please?
There you go.
That my gumbo?
There you go. Enjoy.
Uh-oh. Oh, you're gonna have to excuse me.
Uh-oh. I better get out of here.
Grant? The dog's name was Grant?
That's what it said on the photo.
Kind of a weird name for a dog, huh?
Yeah, well, Bruno Bollet was kind of a weird guy. Hey, thanks a lot, Bess. You've been a huge help.
I'll tell you, being sneaky takes a lot out of me. I'm exhausted.
I still don't know when I'll get back there, so just kind of hang loose, okay?
Story of my life. Call me if you need me.
I will. Bye.
Yes?
I'll check back with you later.
Groovy.
Hello again.
I'd better get going.
Come see me anytime.
A librarian's tale. Something Bruno Ballet wrote in that Tired Eyes book mentioned the librarian's eye. Here we go, a librarian's tale.
Hello again.
I'd better get going.
Take care, hon.
Here, Iggy, Iggy, Iggy. Iggy, come here, Iggy. Got something for ya.
Hello?
Hi, Bess. Listen, you busy?
Why?
I need you to do something for me.
What?
I need you to infiltrate the meeting of the Jolly Rogers crew that's about to be held at Rampart and Dumaine, which has got to be right near Zeke's. You're going to have to look around for it. Now, to get into the meeting, you'll need to put on that skeleton man costume you saw in the back room. And once you're in the meeting, you'll need to listen for the name that opens the meeting so you can tell me what it is, okay?
No.
Bess, I know you don't like to do stuff like this, but this is really, really, really important, and it'll be the last thing I ask you to do. I promise.
Absolutely, unequivocally, irrefutably, incontrovertibly, no. Which of course actually means yes, because if I don't do this, I'll be stuck here by myself until you give up. And since we both know you will never give up, I don't suppose it would do any good to point out that the curio shop is closed.
You'll find a way in. Oh, and if anyone at the meeting asks, the password is Scuttled Bones.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
That's the spirit.
What's the password?
Password? Right. Let's see. Scuttled bones.
Better hurry, we're just about to start.
Welcome, my fellow Jolly Rogers.
that
We
voice.
have several pressing matters to discuss this evening, so let us begin. As you may or may not have heard, certain city officials are attempting to deny us the right not only to gather in public places during the Mardi Gras season, but they have also seen fit to...
Shoot, I forgot to turn off my cell phone.
It seems we have an uninvited guest. Get him!
Let go! You're making a big mistake. Let go of me. Look, I'm not here to make trouble. You're making a big deal out of nothing. Can't we just talk about this? Where are you taking me? If you just let me explain.
Why, it seems our trespasser is of the female variety. Let's have a look.
That's right. You know me and I know you, Dr. Buford. And I also know that you were the one who attacked my friend over at the Boley Mansion today. And if you don't tell me why right now, I promise you, you are going to be in one big world of hurt.
The young lady's clearly upset about something. Clarence, take over the meeting while I try to find out why she's making all these crazy accusations.
They're not crazy and you know it.
I will tell you everything, Miss Marvin, in private.
And he did. He told me everything, Nancy. I bluffed him into confessing. You would have been so proud of me. Oh, and before I forget, the name they chanted at the start of the meeting was Jean Lafitte.
Jean Lafitte. Great. Now, what did Dr. Buford tell you?
Okay. First off, he said that with his dying breath, Bruno Boley directed him to steal the painting of Henry's parents and lock it up in Henry's parents' crypt. Bruno seemed to think that way Henry would wind up with the crystal skull instead of somebody else.
So Dr. Buford dressed up in his skeleton man costume, stole the canvas, and hid it in the crypt like Bruno asked.
That must have been when Renee saw Mr. Death.
But then, Dr. Buford had second thoughts and decided to heck with Henry. He wanted that crystal skull for himself. So this afternoon, he dressed up in his skeleton man costume again and snuck into Henry's house so he could get the key from that mini cemetery and retrieve the painting he'd left in that crypt, knowing the painting would somehow lead him to the skull.
Only I walked in on him and ruined everything.
Right. And now that we're onto him, he says he no longer wants the skull. He's embarrassed that he allowed his superstitious side to get the best of him and says whoever finds the skull is welcome to it. At least that's what Dr. Buford said. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, what?
I told him you were looking for the skull.
That's all right.
Actually, I told him you were on the verge of finding it.
Why would you tell him that?
I don't know, I got carried away. So if he lied to me, and he really does still want the skull, then he might come after you. He left right after we talked, and I don't think he went back into that meeting. What if he's on his way over there?
Don't worry, I'll be fine. Why don't you just... Whoa, that bolt of lightning was huge. Anyway, why don't you just go relax, and I'll be back at the hotel before you know it, okay? Bess? Hello? Bess, you there? Nope, she sure isn't.
Hi, Nancy.
Hey, Ned.
What's going on?
Henry confessed that he sold off some of Bruno's things because he needed money to keep his girlfriend's summer happy.
She's high maintenance, huh?
Extremely. You're so lucky.
Hey, don't I know it. Think he sold off the crystal skull?
I don't think so, no. He acts like he's never heard of the crystal skull.
And so the search goes on.
I've been having Bess do some sleuthing for me.
You're kidding. I thought you said Bess was a disaster when it came to detective stuff.
I never said that. I mean, I may have said she wasn't particularly adept at snooping.
Ah, but this is not snooping. It's sleuthing.
Exactly.
So how's she doing?
You know Bess, when she puts her mind to something, there's no stopping her. She's doing awesome.
Awesome?
Okay, maybe not awesome, but she's certainly, you know.
Not totally screwing up?
Right.
That's what I figured.
In order to find that crystal skull, it looks like I'm going to have to find all of Bruno's glass eyes.
Bruno wore a glass eye?
He wore a lot of glass eyes. Not all at once, of course, but from this box I found in his study, it looks like he had at least 25.
What makes you think finding them will lead you to the skull?
Something Bruno said to Professor Hotchkiss, whom I've met before, by the way, in Wisconsin. Did I ever tell you about her?
Why does that name bring Boots to mind? Boots and cheese.
Anyway, it turns out she's an expert on the crystal skulls. So Bruno called her once, and when she asked him if he knew where the skull called the Whisperer was, he said, "The eyes have it."
He meant eyes with an E instead of an A.
Right.
Did he lose all these eyes or hide them on purpose?
I'm pretty sure he hid them on purpose.
And I thought Henry was weird.
Get this, Bruno had a pet iguana that he liked to dress up in little costumes.
Say what?
I kid you not. I found little outfits for Iggy, that's the iguana's name, Iggy, in Bruno's study. He could dress him up like a mailman, an optometrist, or a pirate.
Now I've heard everything.
While I was picking mushrooms for Renee, I almost lost my hand to one of Bruno's pets.
You have a big dog or something?
A big alligator named Bernie.
How can you make a pet out of an alligator?
Apparently by exploiting their fondness for marshmallows.
Well, stay away from him. I like your hands just the way they are.
I can't quite figure out whether Renee neglected to tell me about him by accident or on purpose.
Hey, if you're not sure, you'd better stay away from her, too.
That's it for now.
Call again, like soon.
I'll try. See ya.
Bye, Nancy.
That's the front door, but I'm not leaving until I figure out what Mr. Skeleton Man was up to.
Yes?
How come your great-uncle's crypt is in the garden and not in the cemetery?
Don't ask me. It's kind of weird. Apparently, he built the crypt himself, but he never indicated in his will or anywhere else that that's where he wanted to be buried. I stuck his ashes in there anyway and had the thing inscribed. If that's not what he wanted, too bad.
I'm going to keep looking around.
Sounds good.
Hello again.
Nice talking to you.
Come see me anytime. Hello again.
I'll leave you to your potting.
Fare thee well.
Yes?
I'll stop bugging you now.
Awesome.
Yes, hello? Who is this?
Hello, Professor. This is Nancy Drew again.
Nancy Drew. Are you sure you're not the cheese girl?
Positive. Could I ask you something?
Of course. Let her rip.
Do you know of any relationship between the Whisperer and a crew in New Orleans called the Jolly Rogers?
A crew named after the skull and crossbones flag flown by European and American pirates? How so very colorful! Yo-ho-ho! Why'd you ask?
The man who called you about the Whisperer, Bruno Bollet, he was a member of the Jolly Rogers. I just thought maybe one had something to do with the other.
Had the Whisperer fallen into the hands of pirates, I promise you my research would have turned up that fact. But it didn't. Therefore, no relationship. Coincidence strikes again.
That's it for now.
Toodaloo!
If I need another loquat, I'll just come back. Come and get it, Iggy. Ow! Iggy! Oh, Iggy!
Hello again.
I think I found the letter that Dr. Bolet was reading when he had his fatal heart attack. Iggy the iguana had taken it. Apparently, Dr. Bolet did have a crystal skull and believed possessing it would make him immortal. So he had it tested, and the lab sent him its findings in this letter. Read the second paragraph.
My analysis showed that the skull, while made of remarkably pure crystal, was carved using modern instruments. In layman's terms, the skull is a fake.
My guess is Dr. Bolet believed in the skull so completely that when he read it was a fake, he was totally devastated, and his heart just stopped. But what I don't quite understand is, why did you tell me you didn't know about the crystal skull when this letter indicates you did?
All right. Dr. Bolet told me about the skull. As you said, he believed with all his might owning that skull was the reason he was still going strong at 95. I lied to you because, well, for one thing, Dr. Bolet swore me to secrecy. And for another, he kept the skull hidden. And up until just this minute, I wanted to be the one who found it.
What made Dr. Bolet decide to have the skull authenticated?
Getting the skull tested was my idea. When Dr. Bolet told me about it, I was skeptical and that troubled him. So I helped him find a private laboratory where we could take it so any and all doubts would be dispelled once and for all. I certainly did not anticipate that the truth would result in his keeling over and dying like that. Well, now that I too know that the skull's a fake, I can stop fretting over its whereabouts. In fact, I should probably thank you and Iggy for setting me straight.
Nice talking to you.
Come see me any time.
and get it, Iggy. Here, Iggy, Iggy, Iggy.
Yes?
I'll check back with you later.
Groovy.
Yeah?
Is this Milo Research and Technology?
This is Chaz, Milo. Service forwarded your call to my cell. What do you want?
Are you all right?
I'm at the gym. On the treadmill. It's called multitasking.
Well, about the letter you sent to Dr. Boulay, you know, where you told him the skull was a fake, I was just wondering...
I never told him that.
Never told him what?
I told him that skull was authentic.
No, you said in the letter the skull was carved using modern instruments.
I said all the tests I ran proved the skull had been hand-carved and hand-polished. Probably took decades to make.
But the letter Dr. Boulay got said just the opposite.
Then the letter he got must not have been the letter that I wrote.
Are you saying the crystal skull is real?
Hey, I'm not saying it's magic or anything. I'm just saying it wasn't made using 19th century, 20th century, or 21st century technology.
Did you carbon date it to see how old it was?
The thing was pure quartz. No carbon in quartz. No carbon, no carbon dating. Hey, look, I'm gonna hang up now. If I try to talk anymore, I'm gonna pass out.
Just one more question. Did you send that letter saying the skull was authentic to anyone else?
No, just Dr. Boulay. I heard he died recently. Good thing I billed him up front.
Yeah, well, thanks for your help.
No problem.
Nancy? That you in there? Goodness sakes, gal, what on earth have you gone and done?
The lid's closing and I don't know how to stop it.
Here, I'll pull you up. Toss what you're holding up here, then give me your hands. Come on, you best hurry.
Here it comes. Renee, a little help, please?
The crystal skull. After all that scheming, how do I finally get it? Why, this nice little Yankee gal just hands it to me.
Renee, help me. Hurry, please.
Thank you, Nancy. Bye now.
No, you've got to help me. Renee! Renee! Hold it right there. That skull isn't yours. To say nothing of the fact that you just tried to bury me alive.
The skull is mine. It wants to be mine. Yes, I did my share of scheming to get it. I got Dr. Bolay to go to the authenticators, then switched the letter they wrote saying it was real with one I wrote saying it was fake, in hopes that Dr. Bolay would just hand it over to me. Yes, my plan failed, and yet, here we are. I have the skull. Why? Because it knows that I will fulfill its destiny.
Bruno Bolay wanted Henry to have it. That's why he had Gilbert Buford steal that painting and hide it in Henry's parents' crypt. Because he hoped that way Henry would eventually find it.
Henry's a fool. If he ever got his hands on this, he would just turn around and give it to that trashy girlfriend of his. Dr. Bolay, he just wanted it because he was terrified of dying. Gilbert Buford, too. And that Lamont fella, he just wants to sell it to the highest bidder. But me, my motives are pure. I am going to protect it so it can rendezvous with all those other skulls. I'm going to be right there when they start conversing, and all the mysteries of the universe are forever solved. Ah! No, 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 come back!
Renee burst into tears and sobbed as Bernie swam away with a crystal skull. It made me feel sorry for her for about 2 seconds. After all, while she may not have meant to cause Bruno's death, she certainly meant to cause mine when she left me sealed up in that crypt. It felt good to turn her over to the police. Later that night, Dr. Buford came over and apologized for knocking me out with that smoke bomb and for allowing himself to think, even for a moment, that Bruno's crystal skull was anything more than a pretty piece of quartz. To make up for his shameful behavior, he insisted on taking Bess and me on a grand tour of New Orleans. Seeing the city through the eyes of someone who loves it as much as Dr. Buford was truly special. He invited Henry too, but Henry declined. He was still trying to process the fact that his great-uncle wanted him to have the skull. Henry always thought that to Bruno he was nothing more than an annoying family obligation, someone Bruno couldn't care less about. Yet Bruno's request of Dr. Buford, made with his dying breath, proved that he did care about Henry. Apparently, and unfortunately for Henry, Bruno was the type of man who just couldn't bring himself to say such things out loud. As for Lamont, when he heard what happened, he closed his shop, bought enough marshmallows to fill a swamp boat, and has been scouring the bayous ever since, kicking every log he comes to in hopes of finding Bernie and the crystal skull inside him. But Bernie has yet to turn up. Maybe the skull didn't agree with him. Maybe swallowing it caused him to stop associating the sound of a kicked log with yummy sweet things. In any case, the Whisperer has disappeared, lost to the world once again, which is totally fine by me. True, the Italian police called me personally and requested that I travel to Italy and help them stake out a suspected thief in Venice. Unfortunately, what started out as a simple assignment in a city filled with canals, gondolas, and romance quickly morphed into a full-fledged undercover operation, and I soon found myself trapped in a maze of lies, disguises, and danger. Help me find my way out by joining me in my next adventure, Phantom of Venice.